Hello, my dear English learners. Welcome back to your English speaking practice. My name is Tara, and I'm really glad you're here with me today. Today's session is going to be a little different. We're going to talk about peace and calm, but not just as a topic, but as a way of speaking. You know, most people think speaking English is about learning more words, more grammar, more rules. But in reality, the biggest challenge is not language. It's what's happening inside your mind. You might have experienced this. You know what you want to say. The words are somewhere in your mind. But the moment you try to speak, you rush. You overthink. You doubt yourself. You start thinking, is this correct? Am I saying it right? What if I make a mistake? And suddenly, something that felt simple becomes difficult. And then you wonder, why does this happen to me? I've been learning English for so long. I completely understand that feeling, because this is not just about English. This is about pressure, fear, expectation. And when your mind is not calm, your words don't flow, they feel stuck. But when your mind becomes calm, something changes. You slow down. You breathe. You allow yourself to speak. And your words begin to flow more naturally. So today, we are not chasing perfect English. We are practicing calm English. Because calm speaking is clear speaking. And clear speaking builds confidence. This reminds me of someone I worked with. Her name is Rachel. She was a lot like many of you. She understood English very well, but when it came to speaking, she felt blocked. She used to rush, trying to say everything perfectly. And the more she rushed, the more she struggled. Until one day, we changed just one thing. We focused on calm, not speed, not perfection. And slowly, her speaking changed. Today, she's here on our podcast to share her journey with you. So just listen. You might hear parts of your own story in hers. Rachel, over to you.
Thank you, Tara. Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel. Before I share my story, let me tell you a little about myself. I've been learning English for quite a few years. I studied it in school, watched videos, and listened to conversations. So from the outside, it looked like I knew English. If you gave me something to read, I could understand it. If I watched a video, I could follow along. Sometimes I would even think, okay, my English is not that bad. But speaking was a completely different experience. Even though I had the knowledge, I didn't have the confidence, and that's where my real struggle began. When I first started trying to speak English, I felt extremely nervous, not because I didn't understand, but because I couldn't express myself. I remember being in conversations, listening to others speak and understanding almost everything they were saying. But the moment someone asked me something, even something simple, I froze. It felt like everything I knew just disappeared. My mind would go completely blank, and inside my head there was always this voice. Don't make a mistake. Say it correctly. Don't sound stupid. The more I listened to that voice, the harder it became to speak. So I started doing what many learners do. I rushed. I thought, if I speak fast, maybe I'll sound fluent. But the opposite happened. I would lose my words halfway. My sentences would break. Sometimes I would stop speaking in the middle. After those moments, I felt so frustrated. I would go back home and think, why is this so hard for me? I understand everything, so why can't I speak? Slowly, without even realizing it, I started avoiding speaking situations. If someone asked me a question, I would give very short answers or just smile and stay quiet, because staying silent felt safer than trying and making mistakes. And honestly, that was the hardest part, not the language, but the feeling of holding myself back. Then one day I had a conversation with Tara. She said something very simple: slow down. At first, I didn't really understand. I thought, how can speaking slowly help me become fluent? But I decided to try. The next time I spoke, I didn't rush. I allowed myself to pause. I gave myself time to think. At first, it felt strange and almost uncomfortable, but slowly something started to change. My thoughts became clearer. I didn't feel as lost. I could actually complete my sentences. And something surprising happened. People understood me better. They didn't care that I was speaking slowly. They cared that I was clear. For the first time, speaking English didn't feel like pressure. It felt calm. It felt like I was finally in control. And that's when I realized something important. Fluency is not about speed. It's not about perfect grammar. It's about feeling comfortable enough to express yourself. So if you're listening to me right now and you feel nervous when you speak, if your mind goes blank, or if you feel like you're not good enough, I just want to tell you this. I've been there, and you are not alone. Be patient with yourself. Go slowly. Give yourself space to learn, because calm speaking leads to confident speaking, and confident speaking leads to real fluency. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. That was beautiful. So, my dear learners, I hope you could connect with her story, because many learners like you go through this. All right. Now, let's bring this into practice. Today we're going to practice calm, natural English speaking. I want you to remember Rachel's experience. Don't rush, don't force, just speak, slowly and clearly. Here's how we'll do it. First, listen, then repeat after me. Speak out loud. Follow the rhythm, the pauses, the calmness. If you need more time, pause the video. Repeat again. There is no hurry. This is your space to practice. All right. Take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. And let's begin your English speaking practice. When I slow down, my thoughts become clearer and easier to express. When I slow down, my thoughts become clearer and easier to express. When I slow down, my thoughts become clearer and easier to express. Brilliant. Speaking calmly helps me feel more in control of my words. Speaking calmly helps me feel more in control of my words. Speaking calmly helps me feel more in control of my words. Amazing! Listen and repeat. I don't need to rush, I just need to be clear. I don't need to rush, I just need to be clear. I don't need to rush, I just need to be clear. Awesome! Let's continue. My voice becomes stronger when my mind is calm. My voice becomes stronger when my mind is calm. My voice becomes stronger when my mind is calm. Excellent. I allow myself to pause and think before I speak. I allow myself to pause and think before I speak. I allow myself to pause and think before I speak. Amazing. You're doing great. It's okay to take my time while speaking English. It's okay to take my time while speaking English. It's okay to take my time while speaking English. Excellent. Don't give up. I focus on expressing my ideas, not on being perfect. I focus on expressing my ideas, not on being perfect. I focus on expressing my ideas, not on being perfect. Amazing. Calm speaking helps me communicate more naturally. Calm speaking helps me communicate more naturally. Calm speaking helps me communicate more naturally. Awesome. Let's continue. I trust myself even when I speak slowly. I trust myself even when I speak slowly. I trust myself even when I speak slowly. Nice. When I relax, my words flow more easily. When I relax, my words flow more easily. When I relax, my words flow more easily. Brilliant. You're doing so well. I don't need fast speech to sound confident. I don't need fast speech to sound confident. I don't need fast speech to sound confident. Awesome. Clear communication is more important than perfect grammar. Clear communication is more important than perfect grammar. Clear communication is more important than perfect grammar. Amazing. Don't give up. I choose calm over pressure when I speak English. I choose calm over pressure when I speak English. I choose calm over pressure when I speak English. I allow mistakes and continue speaking without fear. I allow mistakes and continue speaking without fear. I allow mistakes and continue speaking without fear. Brilliant. My confidence grows each time I speak calmly. My confidence grows each time I speak calmly. My confidence grows each time I speak calmly. Excellent. You're doing great. I am learning to enjoy speaking instead of fearing it. I am learning to enjoy speaking instead of fearing it. I am learning to enjoy speaking instead of fearing it. Amazing. Speaking slowly helps me organize my thoughts better. Speaking slowly helps me organize my thoughts better. Speaking slowly helps me organize my thoughts better. Brilliant work. I feel more comfortable when I speak at my own pace. I feel more comfortable when I speak at my own pace. I feel more comfortable when I speak at my own pace. Nice! Don't give up. I am becoming a calm and confident English speaker. I am becoming a calm and confident English speaker. I am becoming a calm and confident English speaker. With practice, speaking English feels more natural every day. With practice, speaking English feels more natural every day. With practice, speaking English feels more natural every day. Wow! Amazing! All right. Now just take a moment, breathe, and notice how you feel right now. Today we were not just doing English speaking practice, we were talking about peace and calm. And more importantly, we were experiencing it while speaking. You slowed down. You allowed yourself to pause. You spoke without rushing. And that's what calm speaking feels like. Because when your mind is peaceful, your words don't feel forced. They come naturally. So remember this, fluency is not something you chase. It's something you build in moments like this. When you speak calmly, when you remove pressure, and when you allow yourself to be imperfect. So, my dear learners, talking about peace is not just a topic. It is a way of learning. It is a way of speaking. And it is a way of being. And the more you practice like this, the more your English will feel natural, effortless, and real. So don't rush this journey. Stay calm, stay consistent, trust your voice. If today felt even a little different, that means something is changing. So tell me, how did you feel during today's practice? Did speaking calmly help you? I would really love to know. And if you completed today's session, just write done. Not for me, but for yourself. To remind yourself, I spoke with calm, and I am improving. Keep going, keep speaking, and carry this calm with you, even outside this practice. This is Tara, and I'll see you in the next session.